You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hello everyone, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Heroes Advent, Ray's Path. So, while we wait for the next update that will likely add more content to Max's route, we're just going to jump right back into Ray's Path. We were just chilling in his garden while he goes off to do some things. But anyway, guys, please sit back and enjoy. Let me entertain you for the next 20 minutes, and let's jump right in. If you haven't, check out the new video going up today on Fell Part 2. Anyway, let's go. Alright. Let's do it. Okay. You kept heading along the catwalk before ending up at a balcony area. The sky is actually quite beautiful from up here, and the sunset really reminded you of the one you shared with Max back at the mountain. You peeked down from the railings. The first thing that caught your eye was the main avenue of the guild, where the crystal effigies have shifted to a calmer color as night falls. Then, somewhere along the path, you saw Ray again, who was speaking to the Malamute. As they parted, the dragon headed for a small stand further along the road. You haven't seen it there before, so it must be a hawker merchant. You decided to admire the dragon's body, even from a distance, for a bit more before heading back inside the dome. Eventually, after what felt like 10 minutes, the dragon returned. Welcome back! Hey, sorry it took a bit of time, Cassian. You followed him to an empty bench near his garden. Well, I got a great view of the city as advertised, so it's all good. And a great view of me too, am I right? What? How did you know? I'm a dragon, Cassian. I could see you staring at me for a while. I swear I didn't mean to do that. Really. Drat, now he's gonna think I'm a creep. Huh, it's okay, Cassian. If anything, I'm actually flattered. I didn't know you were that into me. It's fine, Cassian. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, here's your dinner. He passed you a piping hot food box, which from a glance looked like a typical Chinese takeout. Thanks, Ray. Don't mention it. Now dig in. These are the best eaten hot. Okay. You hesitantly opened the box and peered through the steam. You could see some stir-fried meat, rice, and vegetables all mixed together. You grabbed the one-time chopsticks attached to the box and helped yourself to the meal. While awfully similar to that Asian dish back in your world, the taste was very distinct. Overall, it was actually quite good, which didn't take long for you to finish up. So, how's the food? Yeah, it's pretty good. Though the tavern food beat this by a mile. Well, yeah, you gotta give them that. Cody's food is still the best around these parts. You think so too? Then why didn't we eat at the tavern? Yeah, well, let's just say I wasn't in the mood for it. Hope you don't mind. Huh. Oh, well, that's alright. Say, Ray? Yeah? That person you bought our dinner from, he's not exactly from here, is he? You mean Poe? Yeah, he's an islander. He tends to go back and forth between the city and the guild to sell his food. Islander? Well, he's from a harbor city on the island. He has a name, of course. I forgot what it is. I've never been there before, and it's been a while since Alex last talked about it. I see. Why though, Cassian? What got you so interested? His food is very distinct, so it kind of made me think he's not from around here. Oh, really? And why is that? Well, it's a bit, complicated. Let's just keep it at that. All right, if you say so. Huh. You spent the next moments relaxing at the bench, admiring the starry night sky through the glass dome with the dragon. Well, not bad for a first date dinner, then. For a first date dinner night, eh? Yeah, it went better than I thought, at least. Thank you, Ray. Heh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well, it's getting late. I should head back. Alright. Hey, wanna come with me tomorrow? There's still the errand for Alex. It's gonna be a low-risk mission, plus Max is also coming. So maybe you could tag along, learn a thing or two, you know. Sure. I'd love to, actually. That's settled, then. Let me escort you to your room. You both left the Sky Garden and made it back to the dormitory. I guess this is it then. Thanks again for the date, Ray. My pleasure. Wouldn't mind taking you on another one next time. That would be nice. Well, good night, Ray. Good night. You breathed a sigh of relief as you closed the door behind you. That was fun. Now to go rest up for tomorrow. You spent the next hour taking a shower and going through your nightly routines. At long last, you threw yourself against the comfortable bed as you briefly thought of the trip tomorrow. A scavenging mission, huh? Sounds simple enough. And with both Ray and Max around, it should be cake. You chuckled at yourself, also thinking of how you could spend more time with the dragon as well. You managed to fall asleep after a while, as always. Oh dear. It's time for spooky time and the sleep. Yep. Beep, beep, beep. You awake from the loud alarm as per usual. You rubbed your eyes as you sat up in bed. You felt quite refreshed waking up. In fact, you found yourself giddy as ever. You'd get to spend another day with Ray, after all. You quickly went to the bathroom to go through your morning routine. You already felt excited as today was your first expedition to the forest, even if you're just tagging along. You quickly finished up and headed to the tavern for breakfast. You arrived at the tavern and sat at the table in the back. The same waiter from the other day seemed to notice you as he made his way to your table. "Ah, good morning, sir. How may I help you?" "Good morning. I'm here for my free breakfast, please." "Ah, noted. Would you like anything else with that?" "I'm good, thank you." "All right, then. Please wait here while we make your order. If you require further assistance, you can call me Ashford." "Thanks, Ashford." He gave you a courteous smile before heading to the kitchen. The tavern was already bustling with guild members and customers having their first meal of the day, though you haven't seen Ray around just yet. You saw the waiter returning from the kitchen soon after to tend to the other patrons. Eventually, he stopped by your table with a tray. "Here you go. Enjoy." "Thank you." You looked down at your meal, unsure of what else you expected since it was exactly the same as yesterday. Well, at least it's free. You stared at the bowl of oatmeal porridge before digging in. At least it tasted okay, both the fruit and the oatmeal. You finished eating after a moment and left your seat to start looking around for Ray. "Cassian!" You turned around to see Ray waving his hand at you. "Yo, Cassian, how's it going? Got enough sleep last night?" "Hey, Ray, I'm good. And yeah, I did get enough sleep. Why, though?" "Nothing, just curious is all. Good to hear, though. Need all that energy for the errand day ahead of us. Oh, also, you had breakfast yet?" "Yeah, I just did. Where are we headed now?" "Well, Max just asked me to join his warm-up session for the day. You should come, too." "Ooh, warming up? Where?" "At the field in front of the guild. Come." Probably going to be doing some of that, too. You followed the dragon outside. Even from afar, you could already see the familiar canine. He seemed to be doing stretches, then some form of martial art, shirtless. You remember seeing similar moves a bunch on TV when you were younger. "Max, sorry to keep you waiting." "All right, took you long enough. What were you doing?" "Well, you know, stuff." "What stuff?" "You'll have to join me tomorrow if you want. Cassian can come too." Sure. Though I don't know if I actually have time for that. I have patrol duty tomorrow." "Bah, you're no fun, Max. Well, let's just get this over with." He was quick to take off his shirt as well. "And I didn't see you around yesterday, Cassian. How are you holding up?" "I'm good. I was with Ray the whole time, actually." "Ah, I see. I sure hope he's treating you well." "Oh, fucking hell, yeah." "Oh, I'm treating him well, all right." He chuckled before wrapping an arm around your neck. You blushed, feeling his scales brushing against your fur. So don't you worry, Max. He's in very good hands, right, Cassian?" He gave you a smirk at that last. Yeah, he showed me his stuff yesterday, too." "His stuff?" The dragon chuckled as you only realized what you just said. I mean, he showed me around. We went to the city and the greenhouse yesterday." "Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Now let's get started, shall we?" You joined them both as they began to exercise, standing a bit behind as you tried to follow their movements, or at least that's what you think you were trying to do. They were following completely different routines after all. You ended up doing nothing for a few minutes, scratching your head in mild confusion. Who should you follow? Ray? You decided to observe Ray's movements. He seemed to be running in place. "Huh, that should be easy," you thought to yourself as you began doing the same, just like in PE class again. You noticed him increasing the pace a bit by bit, as he went on for a while, before suddenly switching to doing side jumps. You managed to follow his moves so far, but you were already running out of breath. After what felt like forever, he dropped to the ground and began doing push-ups. You tried doing the same, but the sudden change in pace caught you off guard as you ended up slamming your face on the ground instead. What the fuck? Ow! Your muffled yelp seems to catch both their attention as they stared at you. "Heh, what are you doing, Cassian? This is no time for a nap." Ray chuckled while Max went to help you up. I was trying to follow you," you said, still trying to catch your breath after that massive workout, and the dragon only shook his head with a smile. "You don't have to do exactly as I do, yeah? Here, instead of push-ups, you can do planks like this. Watch, that's what I do planks." He lays on the ground again and held himself up with his arms. "Try to hold it like this for at least 30 seconds before doing the next move." Okay, noted." "Take it easy, Cassian. You need to know your limits and don't push yourself too hard." Max gave you a shoulder pat as he returned to his spot. You nodded as you rested up for a moment before resuming your routine. You followed Ray's new instruction for a while before ending with a cool-down session with the two. You also felt a lot nimbler after the exercise. You stretched one more time before relaxing your body. You rarely ever exercised in the morning back in your world, but doing this was very refreshing. Wow, looks like you just took a shower, Cassian. Max said as you looked at your own shirt drenched in sweat. You could see why they both took their shirts off before the session. Yeah, all this really worked me up. I feel pretty energized now, though. Of course. That's the point of warming up, after all. He smiled at you. Now, go wash up, Cassian. We're gonna head out in 15 minutes. Oh, alright. What about my clothes, though? We can air dry it and open the window a bit and let the air in. That should do the trick. Or you can just take it off. I don't mind. Well, I think I'll keep this on. I'll be right back. You went inside the guild's public bathroom to freshen up before going back to them. Max's carriage was already there when you returned. Took you long enough. Let's get going, Max said as you approached. Ray was already seated inside as he eyed you through the window. You also noticed the front of the carriage can actually fit 2 people. Where should you sit? Let's sit with Ray. Oh, whoa. You climbed into the carriage and decided to sit in front of Ray when he cleared his throat. Looking for a place to sit? He gave you a longing look while patting his lap. Well, yeah. You blushed, still unsure what to do when you heard the wolves howling out front. You felt the carriage moving forward a little as you found yourself falling into the dragon's lap. You looked up at him with an awkward smile as he blushed. You quickly stood back up, only to hit your head against the roof of the carriage. Ouch! Slow down there, Cassian. Here, sit here. He tapped an empty spot beside him as you sat down, rubbing your head. Well, that's gonna take a while to heal. He pulled you into a hug and gently caressed your head. There. You rested your head against his shoulders. You still felt a bit woozy. Sorry about that. These guys seem to be acting up a bit this morning. You guys alright back there? Yeah, we're good. We should get going now. Okay then, giddy up! The carriage gradually reached a steady pace, and you were out of the city after a while. You could already pick up the humid, grassy smell of the forest from miles away. The carriage passed through a bridge at the edge of the forest before stopping at a wooden mansion along the way. Max slowly steered the vehicle into an open yard with specific lines marked on the ground and other carriages parked in an orderly fashion. Here we are, at the woodland edge. We'll leave our ride here for now and continue on foot, Max said as you hopped off to stretch a little. That's a long trip, all right. Well, not as long as to Alyssa's, but still. I hate to break it to you, but this is just the beginning, Cassian. We're gonna have hours of forest trekking ahead of us. Ray smirked as he patted your back playfully. Well, I'm gonna hand over the permit. Be right back. He went into the building as you waited outside with Max. You two chatted a little bit about the journey so far among some other miscellaneous topics. After a while, you could see the dragon leaving the mansion. It's all done? Yep, all done. We got an entry permit for 3. Now let's get going. This path here will take us right to the tree. He nodded as Ray led the way along the dirt road trailing into the forest. You've been walking for a while. The vegetation grew even denser at each turn of the road. You tried to keep up with Ray, but he seemed very agile, as if he's been here for the 100th time. Even Max seemed lost sometimes, so occasionally the dragon would slow down for both of you to catch up. After a few more hours crossing rivers, climbing rocks, and giant tree roots, you finally arrived at a log bridge overlooking the big river beneath. Here, across this river is our destination. Ray pointed to the other side of the bridge. Just a little bit more and we'll arrive at the Akai tree. About time. Max sighed while stretching a bit. Hiking is not exactly my forte. I'd much prefer catching criminals than wading through bushes and climbing rocks. So we're gonna cross the river then? Is it safe? Yeah, it's safe. I've been here several times, so I can say that with confidence. Ray gave you a thumbs up as he nonchalantly sprinted across the bridge. Well then, what are we waiting for? Come on over. This feels unsafe to me, you said hesitantly. Ray was already at the end of the bridge, hopping over onto dry land at the last step. Just try not to fall. Max gave you a reassuring smile. And don't look down. You gulped, treading cautiously as the logs creaked against your steps. Eventually you breathed a sigh of relief, having arrived on the other side. Finally! You know we have to cross that bridge again on our way back, right? No! You hurried along with the two. After some time, you could see a giant tree up ahead through the treetops. Whoa, is that the... What's it again? The Akai tree? Akai tree, yeah. The inspiration for the Guardian Crystal. Inspiration? Huh, keep going. I'll explain more in a bit. You arrived at the tree. Its gigantic presence towered above a large part of the forest. It looked even bigger than the guardian crystal now that you're up close. There were crystals of various shapes and colors growing along many of its ancient branches. Sometimes the crystals would shine in unison, giving the tree a heavenly radiance. Whoa! Are those magic crystals? Yep, those are magic and energy crystals to be exact. The tree absorbs minerals from the soil, and those minerals would in turn grow into crystals. They resonate to one another with such harmony that they form a barrier that could ward off nether beings. So just like the guardian crystal. Yep, exactly. It's been a long time since I last came here. Indeed, it's been a while. So, we're gonna harvest those crystals? Yeah, the magic and energy crystals from the Akai are quite unique. They're easier to use than ordinary crystals, and even though energy ones can channel elemental magic. I'm not really sure why that's the case, though. Maybe it's because the crystals here both came from and are possessed by a living being. Either way, Alex wanted to use them to make some magic weapons. Oh, I see. But if it's easier and more convenient to use, why not just mine them all? And leave this part of the forest unprotected? Well, just so you know, unlike the Guardian Crystal, the tree's protection depends entirely on the harmony of the crystals. Since the crystals are still rough and unpolished, any changes on them would cause the shield to grow or shrink. But we're still gathering them, right? Wouldn't that disturb the harmony? Yeah, but not if we know which ones to harvest. The effect should be minor at most, such that it wouldn't weaken the shield. Ah, got it. Now, let's see. Hup! Ray jumped onto one of the crystals poking out from the main branches, stomping it a little. Too big. He then hopped to a different cluster, stomping it a bit, then switched to a different branch, then repeated the process, trying to find the suitable one. Whoa, you're not coming, Max? Oh, nah. I'm gonna wait here until he gets the right one. Dragons can detect magical energy fields better than other creatures. I wouldn't be of much help, Oh, found it already? Max asked as the dragon seemed to stop at a cluster on the far side. Yeah. Something feels off, though. What is it? I'm not really sure myself. The magic in this one seems to behave a little odd. Odd? Like what? Well, nothing. Maybe it's just my imagination. It's been a while, after all. Right. Is it good for harvesting, at least? Yeah, I'm getting to it. Ray stomped the crystal a little as it seemed to slightly dislodge from the cluster. Yep, we can take this one. Alright, I'm heading over. Don't hurt yourself on the way up, Ray smirked. Ha ha, very funny. Max jumped to a crystal, almost slipping as he barely missed the landing. Oof! Huh, what did I tell you? You're getting old. Better watch your steps. Yeah. Yeah. Max slowly made his way up the branches while the dragon enjoyed his fit of laughter. Are you cats hissing at each other? Don't do that. You looked at them from below the tree. Max was already catching up to Ray at about half the tree's height. Maybe I should join them too, you thought to yourself when you suddenly felt the urge to relieve something. You realized that you should have used the toilet at the checkpoint before heading into the forest. Guys? What is it, Cassian? I need to go do number one. Number one? What's that supposed to mean? Well, I need to use the toilet. Ah, well, there's no toilet around here in the middle of the forest. But I'm sure you know how to take care of that, right? Do keep away from the tree, though. Oh, you're right, but, What, you think we'd watch you from up here? Come on, Cassian. I mean, I'm curious, too, but even I have morals, you know. Ah! Wow, Rye. Max seemed to facepalm as the dragon chuckled. Just messing with you, as always. Well, if you want some privacy that badly, take the small road past the tree, then turn left. That should take you straight to the river clearing. Okay, thanks. You started running right away, feeling like you'd leak any moment soon. Be careful, alright, Cassian? I will. The path led you to a fork in the road. Oh, shoot. Where do I need to go again? I think it was left. I think this way. You sprinted along the left side. Even after just a moment, you could feel the forest getting less dense until you saw an opening up ahead. You arrived at a small clearing close to a river, as Ray mentioned. This must be it. Phew! You headed to the side of the river and started doing your thing. After emptying your bladder, you let out a massive sigh of relief. You spent a moment admiring the views. You felt at ease again. You remember going to the city forest quite a few times back then, either for camping or just on your own sometimes. You still aren't really sure where the fascination came from, but it's still a unique feeling, something you got to experience again during your stay at Alyssa's. Perhaps you just enjoyed nature, the cool breeze of the forest, the birds chirping, and the gentle gushing of the river. It all felt so soothing in a way you couldn't put into words. He took a deep breath before heading back to the giant tree. When you arrived, Max and Ray were already back on the ground working on some big chunks of crystals. I'm back! Ah, welcome back, Cassian. Thanks, Max. So you guys are done? What are you doing? We're sorting through the crystals, Ray said, carefully chipping at the surface with his chisel. Gotta turn them into smaller bits, since we can't really carry all them big chunks back home. Well, I mean I can, but this old mutt here would probably collapse under the pressure, he chuckled. Said the one nearly getting crushed by that falling cluster. Hey, you're lucky that my body is sturdy. Imagine if it was on Cassian instead. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right there. Ooh, we got some nice Ray abs today, even though he's always displaying his abs. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!